So in this video, I'm just going to explain to you guys a few activities you can do while you're here in the capital of Panama. Keep in mind this isn't all of them, but just some of the ones that I've came across. The first one on the list, without a doubt, would be the Panama Canal, the link between the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean. Now, to be honest, you're visiting here mainly for the history, not necessarily the aesthetics or the looks, because when you arrive, there's not going to be live music and performances and shows or strippers walking around. It's a canal, and unless there are huge ships passing through, which I hope there are when you arrive, it's pretty much, just a waterway. However, what you're seeing is not only important to Panama, but also the world, because back in the day, if you had a ship and you wanted to go from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic or vice versa, usually you would have to go all the way under South America, which could take weeks. But once the Panama Canal was built, you can go straight through the country. So what took weeks now is reduced to around 8 hours, which is great because it saves time and money. This brings me to my next point. Before you get to the outside area of the canal, you're gonna go through a mini museum. However, you can skip that part if you want, because in the historic center, they have a full-fledged Panama Canal museum that you can visit. I'll say that if you're a student or even if you're taking classes online, any sort of classes, show that to them because you'll be able to receive half off admission, which is what I did. And then right next door is the History Museum of Panama, if that interests you. And lastly, there's another museum I think is probably the most popular. It's called the Bio Museum, which has more of an emphasis on, geology, wildlife, archaeology. And I hear it's very kid-friendly. I think it's due to some exhibits being interactive. So if you have children, you can bring them here. Also, if you're an adult, again, I haven't visited this place, but just from reading about it, they have coffee shops and it's right near the water. So they have amazing views and it's great for adults as well. And since we're already here, let's talk about Casco Viejo, which is the historic center. So usually you're gonna have two different vibes or two different atmospheres. During the day, where it's usually hotter, has more humidity, you're not gonna really see many people out. If anything, the historic center may seem empty, which may be great for you, especially if you're a photographer and you want to be able to take pictures without people walking inside the frame or cars passing by. So that can be a great time to visit. However, when the sun starts to go down, the activity definitely picks up. One of the reasons because of the sunsets, which are very beautiful in Panama. You can visit one of the many rooftop bars to check out the sunset, or wait for the sun to go down. That way you have a beautiful skyline view of the city. And lastly, if you wait a little later, that's when the heathens come out and all the debauchery happens. Or you can visit one of the clubs and just turn up. Right nearby is a place called Mercado de Mariscos, seafood market. I don't think many people coming to visit plan on going to this place and buying fish. However, outside, they do have many restaurants you can dine in. I will say though, being a market, I assume the prices here would be a little lower. I would compare them to basically military discount prices. So they're about 10% off in my opinion, they're about 10% off what I've seen in the actual city. Next place on the list is also close to the historic center. It's called Amador Causeway, which is a long strip where you can walk, jog, bike, skate. They have benches so you can enjoy the views with family, friends, maybe have like a mini picnic. And then at the end, they have like a playground area, which is very kid friendly. Also, this is where the Bio Museum is. So you can kill two birds with one stone. Go to the Bio Museum, afterwards, head to the end of the causeway. Well, they have 2 go-kart areas and a few restaurants and eateries. So Amador Causeway, it may not be a must-visit tourist destination. However, if you're in town for maybe a week or two, definitely give it a try. To my nature lovers listening, yes, there are better places in the country of Panama, especially like Boquete. You have Alcon Valley. I think I said that correctly. But in Panama City, it's not all buildings, high-rises, and skyscrapers. There is a rainforest nearby. And if you head to the Metropolitan Park, you will see that, as you can take hikes and treks through the forest. And then once you're at the top, they have some beautiful views. There's also another hike you can do called Cerro Halcón. A little steeper, a little bit more difficult. However, the views here are better in my opinion. If you like to drink, apart from the numerous bars, one place you can visit is called the Wine Bar. And obviously you already know what they serve here. They have multiple events during the week. For example, a basic course of red wine. I did the basic course of the white wine, which was pretty cool. I think I also met someone who they noticed me from the video, so that was interesting. Shout out to him if he's watching. If you don't feel like flying all the way down to Chile or Argentina and you're in Panama, you can learn a little bit about wine history here. Now that I think about it, I forgot to mention another spot which is called Cinta Costera. Now I understand that some of you guys, or a lot of you guys, probably aren't that big into exercise. However, the reason why I listed this place is because on Sundays, it's a great area to visit when the sun goes down, especially after you're done doing the tours, visiting the islands, eating sushi. Because it's Sunday fun day, many families are out, friends are out, couples, you have foreigners and locals alike enjoying the breeze near the water. And then there are certain activities going on, for example, like this one.
Hey, buenas tardes, mi nombre es Adaliden Lazo, soy de la capital, la ciudad de Panamá, y lo que las niñas están ejecutando es un baile congo de la región o de la provincia de Colón, llamado la batea.
Now shout out to the girls. Now I caught this dance because I was walking to the coastline to get some footage and I saw that they had the dresses on, they were dancing. I was like, oh, that seems familiar to like an Afro dance. And from what I was told, if I came earlier, they had the adults out there and I know they were probably getting down. So just a little something I want to share with you guys. Now let me finish off with a few more activities you can do while in the capital of Panama. These ones I didn't partake in, but I'm going to share them with you, and I've met others who did them and they enjoyed it. You can go to the San Blas Islands, just like it sounds, a group of mini islands that are very beautiful, picturesque, turquoise water, etc., etc. You can actually take a day trip from the capital to this place. Just search online, day trip tours, Panama City, San Blas Islands, and you'll find a few. Also, there's a neighborhood here with a lot of history. I think it's actually near the historic center, Casco Viejo. I think it's called El Chorrillo or Chorrillos, and you can take a trip there. It's supposed to be somewhat of a dangerous neighborhood, but if you go with a tour and you go during the day, I believe you should be just fine, but a lot of history. And there you have it. These are just a few things to do while in the capital of Panama. I know many people visit thinking, okay, there's only the canal and then a few museums. But no, there's a little bit more. And hopefully I was able to break that down. And I'm sure I may be missing a few things, but hey, I can't catch them all. However, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. Hope that it's helped you. Hope you found some value in it. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Deuces.